All right, guys. So I got the old laptop here, and you know, if it happened once in a while, I wouldn't be so upset about it. But man, oh man, these contractors are just really trying to screw people over. And so let's start with the last one where the service call I went on, and the guy was like 5 minutes from spending $17,000 when he didn't need to. Okay, I went in there, put a capacitor in, done. Cleaned his unit up a little bit, and we were good. But what I'm looking at here is just another instance where these sleazy sales guys come in, and I don't know. These people are really busy. I'm talking about today, the house I went to. That I think they sensed that, and they just figured they wouldn't pay attention, and they just look at it and say, okay, we need air conditioning, let's sign on the dotted line. So let me get down to the basics here of what this project is. So it's a brand new home. It might be 6 months old. When I looked it up on Zillow, it was still showing the lot. It didn't actually show the house, so I know it's fairly new. And it's if you look inside the house, everything's new. The HVAC equipment's new. So, God, where do I begin with this? I mean, I'll just tell you how it went. So I'm still just flabbergasted about the whole thing. So I go into the house, and she goes, "Well, my attic access is over here." Because I was under the impression the thing was in the attic. Okay, so I can understand, a couple of the companies, one, for example, inflating their price. Maybe they don't like going up in attics. I don't know, but this was a larger company in town, and we'll get into that in a second. But anyway, she goes, "Whoa, so we have a ladder right here if you need to get up in the attic to look at the equipment." I go, "Okay." So I brought my work truck. I got my ladder, and she goes, "That's funny. You were the first guy to even bring a ladder with him," which is kind of strange. I mean, who doesn't bring a ladder to a sales call? You never know what you're going to encounter, what you need to go look at. So I take her ladder, I pop up into the attic access, and there's no equipment up there, just ductwork. And I said, "Ma'am, I think your furnace is out in the garage." And she's like, "Really? Well, the other person didn't even come out in the garage." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? How in the hell do you give them an accurate quote?" How in the heck do you give them an accurate quote? So now my brain starts churning, and I'm thinking, okay, they just want to give them a high price because they know they're busy people. They're not going to pay attention. They're fairly desperate for air conditioning. So let's just throw a big round number at them and see if they sign on the dotted line. And that really, really pisses me off. So I got in the garage, very simple Rheem 90% gas furnace, brand new, with the case coil, cabinet, no coil in it, already there, ready to go. All I gotta do is slide a Rheem uncased coil in there. They didn't run the refrigerant lines, but those will be easy. They're just gonna go up and over the top, and down the wall outside, 30-foot line, maybe 40 if you count it going up and down, but real easy pull. I'll send my brother up in the attic. He'll be up there 10 minutes tops, and we'll get this AC installed for him. The electrical's already roughed in. There's already a disconnect out there. There's already a breaker in the panel, 30 amp breaker. It's going to be a 3-ton AC for this 1,600 square foot house. It's already set up for everything. The only thing they should have done is probably roughed in the refrigerant lines, but it's a very, very, very easy install. And then they wanted one additional thing of the they blocked out a portion and built themselves an office in the garage, like this little makeshift bedroom / office in their garage. That there's going to be a duct run that needs to go about 10 feet, tap a boot into that room for them. I almost just throw that in, on the job for nothing, right? Why charge them for that? If I'm going to give them a reasonable price. So let's talk about the ease of this install, right? That's a dream scenario other than the line set, but that's quick and easy, right? Guess what price the big company in town gave them? Just take a guess before I tell you in your mind. So you're envisioning it, right? 3-ton AC add-on, coil cabinet already in place, electrical already in place, a quick line set up and over the garage. You know, what would your cost for that be? It's going to be a ream uncased coil, 3-ton uncased coil, ream 3-ton AC. What would your price be for that? Well, let me tell you what this sleazy company in town, which is one of the two that I tell people to stay away from, those green and yellow trucks and those red trucks. And those red trucks are much bigger, and they're owned by a large corporation that doesn't care about the consumer. So they have shops everywhere in the state of Oregon. They have them in the valley. They have them over here in the high desert. That just sleazy tactics. They got to bill out so much a day, or they can't take care of their big corporate fat cat executive ownership group or whatever the hell they are. So take a guess what their price was. I'm not going to tell you right now. I'm going to go to the laptop and we're going to read over her and my conversation, and tell me if you agree with how I go about my sales calls. If you think that I could do better, or if I could do worse, or if you agree with everything I say, or if you disagree with everything I say. So let's go to the laptop here. So she messaged me at 10:56 p.m. last night. I was already asleep. I don't stay up late. I wouldn't be a very good HVAC contractor if I stayed up late and slept in. But she writes, and this is via Facebook Messenger, and she says, "Hello, looking for ASAP quote on AC installation. House has central heat. Another quote today was outrageous, so looking around. I'm in Redmond, which is where I live, Redmond, Terrebonne, Oregon. She literally lives like 6 minutes away from me." And my automated message on Facebook Messenger said, "Hi, this is Josh. What can I help you with?" And then it repeats what she asked just because she thought that was me. So I got up this morning at 7:25 a.m. I said, "Not a problem. What was considered outrageous? Just want to make sure we're on the same page with budget. I'm happy to help, and I can usually be more reasonable on cost. Being a one-man band, I usually can be." That's all honesty there. So let's see. That was at 7:25. She gets back to me in a little bit. She says, I'm assuming it was a female sales associate for this company. I'm not going to name their name, but if you live over here in Central Oregon, you know who I'm talking about. But she gets so the customer, this is a female, the wife. She says this was what she said was needed, and she quoted $14,200. Use existing, and it's just probably just sent this in an email. Didn't take any time. Just threw a large number at them. And then it says, this is what she said was needed. She quoted $14,200. Use existing gas furnace. Of course you're going to. It's brand new. We're going to brand you up to a 16.5 SEER AC side discharge. Now I know this company. They use the rebranded Goodman, so it's a Goodman 16.5 SEER. They call them the 17 SEER side discharge AC. She throws in a F100 filter cabinet. They already have one there. So new thermostat, it doesn't need a new thermostat. You're at an AC to a brand new system. It's already got a Honeywell T6 Pro on the wall. You do not need a new thermostat. That thermostat's maybe 6 months old. NPI air cleaner. Add the duct run in the garage. That's nothing. All high voltage electrical included. Now why? Okay, so this is one thing. If you talk to your customers, they'll tell you her husband is an electrician. Plus the electrical's basically already roughed in. I just got to put a whip in and tie it in. So trying to add things to inflate the price and make it look like they're doing more than they are. Obviously people that aren't looking out for the consumer, not looking at things, and just wanting to throw a big, I'll say it again, wanting to throw a big number at it to hopefully they're hoping that the customer is distracted and they are not going to know what's going on. They're just going to sign their life away. So I said, "Oh, I see the red trucks." I said, "That's a large corporation, doesn't care about the consumer," and I'm 100% correct. I would like to do a site visit, but let's get some questions out of the way first. Can I get a few pictures of your existing gas furnace and where it is and where the AC would go in proximity to the furnace? always something good to ask. You know, you need to know how much refrigerant line you're going to be using, and if it's going to be laborious to install it. Also, I'm assuming air quality is important to you since they added an additional air cleaner, or is that something they just added? You know, you never know. It is, and I go, it's illegal to put a duct run in a garage unless this duct run is feeding the room above the garage, I assume. This is before I looked at it, so I'm just you know, throwing things against the wall to see if they stick. And she says, hey there, so they just added on the air cleaner because they didn't look at anything. Oh, and she said they didn't even go out in the garage, so they didn't even know where the equipment was. How did they give her a quote, I'm wondering? So it's a one-story house, so there's no room above the garage. I just have a built-on office in the garage, just a framed-out, drywalled little room in the garage. It's not required, so no worries there. We can do a window unit or something. As soon as I saw it, I knew it would be easy to do. The AC would go on the side of the house, I imagine. The furnace, I'm unsure of location. They didn't know where their furnace was, but they access the attic each time someone comes to give an estimate, so probably there. Yeah, it's not up there. It's in your garage. Sorry, not really strong answers here. So she flies out of town for work, so she's not really paying attention to what's going on at home. This other company, the big red trucks, came while she wasn't home. So yeah, she goes, sorry, not really strong answers here, LOL. So I said, no problem. I go, can I get the address so I can look up the layout of the house and give you a pretty solid ballpark estimate? Then we can move forward with a site visit if that sounds reasonable. Now, I'm starting to think it's a newer house and everything else. I go, why don't I just run over there? As soon as she gave me the address, which is right here, she gives me an address and she gives me a picture of the disconnect on the outside of the house. I know it's going to be easy. So as soon as she gives you that, I see that it's only a few minutes from me, so I'm like, okay, so here's what I say. Usually they rough in the electrical for future AC on these homes. I go, is there a disconnect outside somewhere and a breaker in the panel labeled AC? Pics help here as well. Oh, my neck's hurting. I said, or better yet, I could swing by later today if you're available. She goes, let me ask my husband since he is home and he's an electrician, so he will know, LOL. I do believe the answer is yes. And then she goes, also, yes, you can come by today. I land at 11 a.m., so after that. And I go, yeah, it's kind of silly for them to include the electrical. It'd be cheaper for your husband to do it. This is before I knew that their electrical's already there. Is noon a good time then? Will that give you enough time to get home and settled? And then she goes, there is a line run from the panel to the disconnect outside of the double 30 amp breaker. That answers that question. And she goes, he will gladly do that part. I honestly think she just added a bunch of things on, and I think I wasn't home, so period. And she goes, noon is good. So I said, okay, good. I figured they would have roughed it in. Let's call it noon to 1. I'm going out to lunch, blah, blah, blah. Just in case we get sidetracked, let's give you a window of noon to 1. And she goes, deal. And then she asks, this won't go on much longer, guys, I promise. It's just a couple more minutes. And then she goes, as a family, sorry about that, guys. My daughter came walking in, and I had to shut the camera down. So, where were we? Okay, so I talked about going to have breakfast, and then she says deal, and then she goes, as a family owned, do you offer payment plans? I said yes, I do have financing options. I go, but it is always best to go through your own bank or credit union if you can. I always agree with that, because you have a relationship with them already. And then she goes, okay, we'll see what your quote looks like and go from there. I had great credit, but I bought my first house 2 months ago, LOL, thus needing the AC ASAP. We will see what happens. And then I say, well, I can guarantee you I'm nowhere near 14K. I said, that's outrageous. I'll see you in a little bit. And then she says, sounds good, just landed. Can we shoot for 1? And she goes, I hope your brunch is good. I go, probably be a little earlier than that if okay, which it was. I think it was about 12:30 when I got there. She says, I'm home. I go, okay, I'm mailing off a package and then I'll head over. And she says, okay. Okay. And then I went and did my my sales call. I don't call it a sales call. I just call it helping her out. And asked her for her email, and she just sent me her email. So that's the gist of that. Let me know if you guys think I did anything wrong. I told her if I can get the ream equipment put together and get everything put together this week, I'll go out a week from today, Saturday, and install the AC for her, because she's actually having her daughter's graduation party that evening. And I told her if all goes well, we can get that thing in, and you'll have air flowing throughout the house by noon or 1 on that Saturday. So I look forward to that. I like helping her out. I think I'm going to save her probably at least $5,000 or $6,000 over that outrageous quote by that large company with the big red trucks. So I just wanted to share that with you guys today. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see if I come up with anything else this weekend. If not, I'll see you on Monday, where I will be out back at the Hvac mansion. So I'll see you then.